Our main character starts off by complaining to his friends about literally traveling through time. Naturally, everyone keeps things 100% normal and ignores his wild claims. They label him the resident drama queen, but our main character rejects their disbelief. He doubles down, swearing up and down that he is telling the absolute truth. He even starts a video call to prove it, but before anyone accepts, warriors riding giant swords and mystical beasts suddenly crash the entire scene. Looking like the wildest cosplay party ever, they charge straight toward the poor guy. They act like he just stole all their legendary beast snacks. The fanciest cultivator in the crew steps forward, accusing him of major theft. He demands serious payback, but honestly, it is just a snack, not a treasure. Surprisingly, it turns out that our main character actually did travel through time. He had imagined a whole mental checklist of scenarios, but never expected this chaos. He did not expect to be thrown into another dimension, like a low-budget movie. Next thing he knows, a massive speeding truck comes charging like a maniac. Somehow he manages to dodge it, gasping for breath as it blows past him. After all, nobody likes reckless drivers who just completely ignore red lights. Honestly, just when things cannot get any wilder, a girl and her dog crash into him. They send him spinning wildly around like a high-speed fidget spinner. To make things worse, he takes a nose dive straight into an open manhole. He eventually wakes up to strange voices, staring right at a dog with horns. The strange creature even has tiny wings. Naturally, absolute panic sets in immediately. He looks around and realizes other bizarre creatures are watching him, too. Wondering if he is dreaming, the winged puppy suddenly licks him, making him jump. He backs straight into a giant electric frog, getting zapped like a nightlight. After a painful jolt, the main character pulls himself together and realizes something. These bizarre beasts do not actually seem to want to eat him at all. He quickly scopes out his surroundings and finds himself inside a beast pen. He does not panic though, since his phone somehow still has great signal. Convincing himself this is a prank, he takes a photo to identify the species. But the internet forums dismiss the image as completely fake, AI-generated nonsense. Since his phone date is identical, he acts with toddler-level survival instincts. He pokes the frog again, then tries dialing the emergency services for help. Of course, the call fails. Suddenly, a talking crow drops down beside him. The bird explains they are at a sect with 2,500 years of history. Our main character is not buying it, assuming it is just a prank show. He decides to leave, but touching the gate instantly launches him backward. He lands right in a pile of hay like a broken carnival ride. The crow calls him an idiot for ignoring the beast pen restrictions. Checking his hands, he wonders if some hidden technology is messing with him. He finally accepts the time travel theory, hoping to call his friends. Meanwhile, the winged dog watches him sulking and kindly brings over some kibble. The main character quickly refuses, but the puppy goes into full demonstration mode. It clearly thinks this helpless human needs a quick tutorial on basic eating. Right then, his stomach growls incredibly loud, but he stubbornly refuses to eat. However, his empty stomach rumbles again, forcing him to reluctantly reconsider. He accepts his wild new reality. Unfortunately, survival means eating dog food. This is a massive downgrade from human food. Fortunately, our time-traveling hero Mo Wang has his phone. He instantly hops online looking for backup to handle this mess. Everything around him is completely chaotic, but at least the local Wi-Fi signal is exceptionally strong. His battery is still holding, to prove he is not joking around. He sends his closest friends a quick video of a bizarre dog, praying they will believe his story. But his supposedly sane friends do not buy it, instantly assuming a prank. Refusing to be ignored, Mo Wang immediately calls them to prove he is telling the truth. He shows off the bizarre, monstrous beasts lurking nearby. With actual live-action proof directly on their phone screens, the squad is forced to start believing. After hanging up, the gang is left scratching their heads. Sure, his phone connects to the internet, but what kind of insane fantasy world is this? Charging his phone becomes his top priority, along with understanding this reality. Food is easy, but there is a pretty major catch. It is literally all dry dog food, which is definitely not a five-star Michelin feast for him. He only shares this crazy situation with his absolute closest circle. There is Ashwin, the tech genius, and a Yao, the hyper-focused planner. Finally, there is Aang, the quirky otaku streamer. She is a literal encyclopedia of fantasy hacks for them. Ashwin sends over a video tutorial on how to build a handmade electricity generator. He warns him about the frog's voltage, because even amphibians are electric. Meanwhile, Alyang drops some crucial advice about a fantasy gaming cheat system. He tries shouting out system activation names like summoning spells. But absolutely nothing happens, proving this harsh world completely skipped the starter pack cheat codes. Alyang quickly suggests a completely different and wild survival strategy. She wants him to unlock devouring evolution by eating beasts. Mo Wang steps forward, but instantly freezes in place. He nervously asks if she expects him to hunt monsters. Knowing his obvious physical limits, she wisely tells him to search for ancient relics instead. Looking around, he realizes that his loyal friends backing him up are his actual cheat. It is honestly a pretty obvious and deeply comforting conclusion. Still, Alyang calls his tragic entrance a total joke. 7 long, grueling hours later, our hero is still trapped inside the smelly beast stable. But strangely, eating the tasteless dog food actually gives him a very warm, surging energy. His final verdict is clear: this world is a downgrade. He sorely misses air conditioning, hot pot sessions, and sweet milk tea. Just as he is about to completely lose his mind, the heavy wooden doors swing open. 3 figures step inside. Mo Wang immediately spots an enchanting fairy. She has charming eyes, soft lips, and an incredibly stunning figure. She starts her magic inspection, while her loud assistant proudly boasts about their tight security. He claims not even a single mosquito can sneak past. She showcases the star beasts, including a thunder frog and talking crow, and a very special dog that is basically the ultimate plant whisperer. But when the caretaker hypes the dog, Mo Wang gets exposed. Thinking fast, he quickly spins a wild lie, claiming he is actually a disguised spirit beast. He is zipping around like a boss. To seal the deal, he darts out of the pen with a slick move, literally saving his life. Meanwhile, Mo Wang bolts as if he just saw a massive bill at a pricey restaurant. The sidekick, who is about as useful as a screen door on a submarine, wonders if this humanoid beast is even a real creature. The clueless sidekick suggests the guy might be some sneaky intruder who slipped inside. The sidekick suddenly wakes up from her nap, cracks her whip, ordering the spirit beasts to hunt down the poor runner like he is the last slice of pizza on Earth, just as things are about to get even. Crazier, Mo Wang's friends start a voice call, probably to send some virtual support or just laugh at him, but Mo Wang definitely not in the mood for a group chat, keeps running for dear life. He is almost at the door when a sharp energy slash zips through the air, slicing his cheek like a terrible paper cut. Turns out the crow, that dark, spooky-looking bird, is the one attacking him, while all the other beasts begin to surround him. Like they are auditioning for some cheap monster movie. The fairy steps forward, demanding to know how Mo Wang broke in. She glares at the sidekick for her terrible security, but the girl starts apologizing like crazy. Hoping that saying sorry works, she knows only a high-level cultivator could slip past a 4th-grade spirit array, so she pulls out a stack of talismans like some kind of high-tier starter pack and decides to test the intruder's skills. Mo Wang sweats bullets, even as simple crows. Wind Blade could easily end him, yet here she is, stacking buffs like he is a legendary villain. She cannot feel any spiritual energy from him at all, so she assumes he's hiding it with a treasure or is way stronger than Her trying to impress the fairy, she gets serious when Mo Wang moves, but plot twist, he just drops to his knees, begging like a mortal. The crow eventually wakes Mo Wang up, finding himself tied tightly to a pillar while the fairy double-checks that he has absolutely zero spiritual power. She demands answers about the missing items, and the sidekick quickly rattles off that they are short 452 spirit plants and 250 loads. She accuses Mo Wang of stealing, but he quickly claps back, saying there is no way he could eat 250 loads of feed in a year, let alone hours. The fairy points out that Mo Wang is just a mortal with zero spiritual energy. If he had actually bypassed her detection, only the supreme elders in the sect could pull that off. She commands the sidekick to balance the beast pen accounts in 7 days with no excuses, to make absolutely sure Mo Wang gets the message. The fairy zaps him with a beam that will destroy his entire body and soul if he tries to escape the sect. Then she delivers her final order. The sidekick must erase Mo Wang's memory and send him back to the mortal world within 7 days. No tricks. Once the fairy leaves, the sidekick fiercely lectures the dumb boy for messing with the valuable spirit beast feed, but decides to pin the entire disaster on Mo Wang by tampering with his memory. She reaches out to probe his mind, wanting to know how he entered the pen. Mo Wang panics because if she discovers he transmigrated, he's done for. Meanwhile, on the other side, his friends are putting two and the duo watches in horror, realizing their captive is about to face an absolute nightmare. It is not some friendly checkup. This is a brutal, deep-dive soul inspection. An interrogation straight from hell. This soul-searching technique is like diving headfirst into a person's subconscious to drag out their darkest secrets. But the spell is normally forbidden because human minds are way too deep. Honestly, who even knows what kind of bizarre thoughts are lurking inside? The sidekick is dying to uncover Mo's secrets, but her partner drops some hard truth. Her power is simply too weak to pull this off safely. But does she listen? Not a chance. She dives headlong into chaos. Specifically, the messy brain of a 21st century anime geek. Usually, minds are basic, just boring memories stitched together. But Mo's head, the guy's brain, is a total circus thanks to years of non-stop video binging. His mind is a chaotic battlefield packed with planes, beasts, and giant robots, all tearing each other apart like a Hollywood blockbuster. The sidekick is completely mesmerized watching these mega monsters duke it out until a nuke drops and clears the whole screen. She wanders through absolute nonsense, searching for what he obsesses over the most. She channels her magic, and suddenly there are soft lips, gorgeous legs, and a highly inappropriate affair playing out right before her. It gets blurred for our sanity, but the sidekick watches every single scandalous moment like a dramatic reality show. When she finally breaks the connection, her knees hit the floor. Way too much brain rot for one day. The dumb guy rushes over, begging for details, but she plays it cool, saying her magic is not strong enough to remember those details. Naturally, the dumb guy instantly wants to try it himself, but she blocks him like a true hero. It is life or death. Suddenly, Mo snaps awake and tells them to back off. The dumb guy is genuinely impressed by his quick recovery and immediately tries casting a memory wipe since they got absolutely no useful information out of him. But just as the magic charges, Mo screams a wild promise he can fix their broken books in exactly 7 days. The dumb guy is highly skeptical, but the sidekick is completely sold. She trusts his insane abilities after witnessing the crazy genius inside his head, even if most of those memories were totally inappropriate. So, the dumb guy agrees to a truce, warning Mo that failure means getting kicked out of the sect immediately. But if he actually pulls this off, he gets a ticket off the mountain. Oh, and they send him to a tiny cabin right next to the beast stables to start counting. Once the two leave, Mo grabs his phone only to realize his battery is nearly dead. His friends on the line heard the whole drama and tell him to charge his phone first before handling the bookkeeping. Meanwhile, the sidekick's head is spinning like a top from all the absurd things she witnessed. She is practically one weird thought away from a complete meltdown. Later, Mong asks about their real financial situation, treating it like a struggling business startup. The dumb guy proudly admits that alongside his path to immortality, he has a side gig writing fantasy books. Recently, he met a guy who claimed to be the heir of a major publisher who lost all his money and needed some travel cash. This young master promised him massive returns and help with publishing his book. Oh, and get this, he only needed 300 spirit coins, a total steal like a Black Friday deal. Mong instantly guesses that our resident dummy probably swiped those coins from the beast pen to fund this scam, but the dummy, ever the optimist, insists he will pay it back once his book gets published, just like a broke author who is sure their first novel will be a massive bestseller. Mong presses for more details, so the dummy pulls out a family heirloom from the merchant's son as collateral. Spoiler alert, the heirloom is totally chipped and busted. Honestly, how blind can this guy actually be? But nope. Denial mode is fully activated. The dummy insists the merchant's son even wrote to him afterwards, so it must be totally legit. He whips out a letter asking for even more money. Mong's dead-eyed look screams, seriously, how much cash did you send this time? The dummy sheepishly admits he sent it 6 more times, but still believes it is worth it if the deal finally closes. Talk about real dedication to a sinking ship. Mong keeps digging, asking about the merchant's son's village. The dummy says it takes a whole month for regular folks to get there, and he left over 2.5 months ago. So the merchant son has long reached his destination and has been running a non-stop scam marathon on our dummy. Mong suggests a fix: just fly to that village on his sword in a single day and demand the cash back with some sharp sword justice. The dummy jumps into action immediately, but Mong stops him, snatching up all his money to prevent another episode of him getting played. Next, he hands the dummy a list of stuff he needs, demanding he hit up the sex workshop for these essential goods. Essentials. Amazingly, the cooperative dummy agrees and takes Mong on a sword ride to a dark cave. Inside, there is a massive door, probably built for bodybuilder elephants. Stepping inside, they find a sleeping old man, and Mong cannot help but stare around at the interior like it is an ancient luxury hotel. The dummy wakes the old man and randomly claims Mong is a new disciple who needs sect equipment. Then, like a true introvert, he dorks out and bails because he has got important stuff to do. Classic ghost move. The old man reads the list and asks if Mong is making a weapon. Mong is shocked that the old man actually knows this tech stuff. The old man reveals they have electricity thanks to those spiritual orbs, but they usually use it to zap wild beasts with traps, so basically they have got ancient Wi-Fi for beast hunting. After this enlightening lecture, Mong scores a free sect robe, a sect manual, and a monthly allowance of 30 spirit coins. To claim his monthly goodies, all he has to do is touch a stone to register himself. The old man goes straight back to sleep like a boss, while Mong easily registers his name effortlessly. To test the raw power of the spiritual orbs, Mong charges his phone and boom, it actually works. Crazy crossover. Modern tech meets ancient magic. And suddenly, everything feels just like a glitch in the Matrix. Since his phone is charging again, the friend gang hypes Mong up to rise like a phoenix and win over all the girls, basically turning him into the ultimate player of the century. Mong quickly reminds them that he is definitely not their digital pet or some virtual Tamagotchi to be commanded at will. He actually wants to figure out a way back, but his friends drop the time travel rule bomb. To return, he must cultivate to the plus they lay down a pretty savage truth. Who would ever want to go back to the soul-crushing routine of a wage slave when eternal life is waiting on the other side? Naturally, they beg him to share that cultivation manual so they can try Leveling up 2, Mo Wang, feeling generous or maybe just tired of all their nagging, agrees and sends over some potato-quality photos of the manual that look like they were taken with a flip phone from 2005. Mo Wang tries to study, but his head starts to ache. This is completely new to him, like trying to learn rocket science while nursing a major hangover. He tries to chill and take a quick break, but Ai Yao instantly scolds him for slacking off online instead of studying. Mo Wang quickly obeys, because honestly, he is way too scared to argue and dives right back into the pages. Like a desperate student cramming the night before a final exam, the manual lays down the absolute basics. Step 1, construct a spiritual platform, cultivation. Has 9 stages. The first step requires drawing spiritual light straight into your body. Basic breathing techniques should calm the mind, helping disciples sense energy. Sounds like a fancy meditation app on steroids. Mo Wang tries it and miraculously actually senses the spiritual energy, but if he loses focus for even a split second, the feeling vanishes, proving he is no cultivation prodigy, just a casual gamer. He tries incredibly hard, but the energy simply refuses to flow inside his body. As if he is on a strict no-entry list, the manual makes it clear that anyone who can guide spiritual energy on their very first try are basically gods. Meanwhile, those who only feel it but cannot pull it in are just average at best, so Mo Wang accepts his fate as the cultivation world's ultimate middle-of-the-pack player. After finally crashing asleep, someone quietly sneaks into his room and approaches. It is the sidekick, here to read Mo Wang's mind once again like a psychic stalker. But the moment she tries to invade his thoughts, Mo Wang snaps awake and stares directly at her with the intensity of a creep caught red-handed, then an awkward stare-down. That feels straight out of an indie horror movie. They manage to ease the tension. The sidekick asks why Mo Wang is not asleep in the middle of the night, but he points out the absolute obvious. She is the one who barged in like it is nothing. This, completely unsurprisingly, makes the sidekick fume like a boiling kettle, and she proceeds to beat him to an absolute pulp. After taking a major beating, Mo Wang begs her to spare his face because he definitely makes a living off that handsome mug. That is when the sidekick drops her name, Ba, blushing as she explains that something is seriously off with his soul. She suspects that Mo Wang is not actually from this world, making him panic like a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. But Beiji continues, saying she finds his thoughts highly suspicious and needs to soul search him again. Mo Wang notices her blushing while she talks about his mind, which raises a massive question. What exactly does she see? He is pretty sure his thoughts are clean as a whistle, but Beiji's reaction definitely says otherwise. She even threatens to end his life since he has uncovered her little secret. Panic mode kicks in. Mo Wang immediately offers to let her search his mind, trying to strike a deal before things get deadly. Beiji insists it is merely an investigation, but Mo Wang is not buying it. They are negotiating terms like two people cutting a shady business deal. Meanwhile, in their group chat, while Ao and Ong are stuck at square one in cultivation, Oin flexes a bit, telling everyone he can faintly see a glimpse of spiritual energy, pulling off a smooth, humble brag. It is the power of science versus the ancient cultivation world. Who really has the upper hand? Moan confidently points out that everything boils down to the volume of information. Then, without any hint of shame, he drops the bomb that he is actually from another world. Prince who somehow fell into the mortal realm. Naturally, this piques Bai's curiosity, because anyone would be intrigued by a prince with a dramatic backstory. Moong explains he is from a different cultivation world and needs her help, which sounds exactly like a plot from a fantasy soap opera. Bai's, finally, using her brain for once, asks for some solid evidence. Moong cleverly reminds her that she already peeked into his mind, so that should count as proof. This revelation gives Bai's the excitement of a lifetime, totally geeking out over the idea that Moan comes from such a mystical place. Meanwhile, Mong feels pretty confident that she has not seen anything too embarrassing or inappropriate in his mind, which is honestly quite a massive relief. To seal the deal and convince her, he shows her a chipped heirloom as further evidence. Buys inspects it, but the worn-out state of the heirloom instantly makes Mong panic. Classic mistake, he grabbed the wrong artifact. Thinking on his feet, he pulls out his phone and places it on the table for a better demonstration. He opens up his folders, showing her some hidden files. And Buys perks up, finally convinced it is the real deal, just as Mong puts his phone away. Buys questions why a prince like him has no cultivation at all. Mong quickly spins a tale about losing his power during his journey between worlds. His story is so smooth it almost sounds believable. Surprisingly, Buys actually buys it, which makes Mong feel a sudden twinge of guilt because, let's be real, he totally stole that lie from a low-level scammer playbook. Buys then asks if he has a method to settle the accounts of the beast pen, and threatens that he will not be off the hook if he cannot figure it out. Talk about pressure. Mong, unfazed, pulls out his phone and finds that the results are in. He decides to wow Buys with some modern tech magic. They move to the next room, which houses the beast pen ledgers, stacks of dusty old records going back generations. Buys assumes they cannot possibly sort through all that in a few days, but Mong casually says they only need to check the last decade to catch any issues. Turns out he already took pictures of the recent ledgers and had Oin organize and analyze them for people stuck in this ancient world. These numbers look as confusing as celestial charts, but with modern tech, comparing them is a breeze. It is like using a cheat code in a game. Mong states the accounts are a total mess, with numbers not matching up anywhere. Someone has been messing with the purchasing process, straight up. Embezzling like it is an ancient day fraud scheme. Buys is seriously impressed, clearly not used to such sharp detective work, and she asks what the next move is. Mong tells her to drag the person in charge of procurement in front of them and make him cough up the truth about the embezzlement. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Oin can clearly feel the presence of spiritual energy swirls around him as he wonders if this current planet can actually support cultivation too. Maybe Earth is about to get a mystical glow up. Bicey zooms in faster than a caffeinated cheetah and crashes straight into the accounting department like a budget tornado. The poor guy who was enjoying his beauty sleep jolts awake like he just saw a ghost and warns her off for daring to disturb his nap with so much sass. But Bicey is unfazed and hurls the ledgers, dropping receipts hotter than a tick-tock scandal, claiming she highlighted all the shady discrepancies and ridiculous prices from the last few years. While she breaks down the entire mess, the accountant starts chanting his usual honest and fair anthem, basically flexing his self-righteousness like a trophy. Before things get too heated, though, Mong slides into the conversation like a smooth operator, saying they trust the accounting crew, but he suggests these ledgers could use a minor makeover. He casually mentions they brought revised ledgers because they spotted some fishy business. The chubby accountant's eyes pop out like cartoon characters when he sees the newly balanced, polished ledgers. Turns out Mong had soy call in a retired guru to sprinkle magic on the numbers. Mong then hits him up for a favor, and the starstruck accountant drops his formal act to welcome the chat. Mong takes advantage, whispering about their financial struggles and casually asking for a loan. The guy does not even hesitate, tossing a heavy pouch of cash like Monopoly money. Mong grabs the rest of the ledgers and bounces, even slipping him his contact info when the accountant asks for future help, smooth as butter. Bicey, finally seeing the mighty accounting department take a massive loss, opens the fat pouch and finds enough loot to cover most of their deficit. She is absolutely shocked, wondering how much the procurement office has been secretly sneaking away over the years to stash such wealth. She clings to Mong like a Lifeline making him blush harder than a teenager caught texting a crush. She playfully calls him a pervert once she figures out why he is red-faced. Mong tries to play it cool, explaining he is just not used to being near girls. Because, spoiler alert, his relationship count is 0, he also clarifies he is not into kids like Bicey, but prefers women like that beautiful fairy they. No, changing gears, he hints at returning the favor, but Bicey shuts down his secret plans faster than a TikTok trend fades. Then Mong drops a bomb. He actually wants to stay and cultivate here by joining the sect. Bicey is a bit bummed but lets him in anyway. Mong thanks her like a genuinely grateful puppy. With his spot finally locked down in this bizarre new world, Mong has realized people here are actually decent. But wait, here is the kicker. His phone still connects to the internet, giving him a massive edge. To get his foundation solid, he pops some spiritual pills and meditates like a Zen master, binge-watching enlightenment tutorials. Soon enough, he breezes right into the spiritual light realm, officially leveling up in his cultivation journey. Mong's very first move is blowing up his friend's group chat with the news. Meanwhile, Asubai is over there, totally bummed, feeling like he has lost his cultivation vibe. Elsewhere, mysterious hooded figures are already scheming. They are talking about summoning rituals and hunting that guy from the other world just to ascend to Earth. Unbelievable, right? Suddenly, the pretty fairy looks over the freshly corrected ledgers with a mix of curiosity and approval, then shifts her gaze to Mo Wang, sizing him up for their sect. Bicey rushes in like a total hype squad captain, explaining that her master hand-picked Mo Wang but just left him chilling in the beast pen, leaving everyone else scratching their heads. The fairy buys the story, totally intrigued by the potential she sees in Mo Wang for cultivation, asking Ba to look after him. Mo Wang soaks up the compliment like he is the main character, feeling pretty fly, but the fairy quickly drops some serious news about the sect's massive upcoming evaluation. Basically, once in 30 years Dragon Gate Assembly, a high-stakes competition that grants unrestricted access to secret realms. Then, like a mystical goddess, the fairy departs gracefully on a lotus flower, leaving Mo Wang blushing harder than a fan. Spotting their idol, Bicey catches his starstruck stare and yells at him for being way too obvious, and Mo Wang tries to play off his huge crush like a maiden suddenly caught in the spotlight. Before anyone can tease him, a loud crash interrupts the moment. Enter the simpleton, still rocking his birthday suit. Like a total fashion disaster from the Stone Age, he tries to tell his saga. But Mo Wang cuts him off, already knowing he traded his clothes for a bunch of useless, empty promises again. Sure enough, the simpleton's latest scam was a promise that his book would get published. Mo Wang, totally unimpressed, advises him to never go down the mountain again because his pure innocence is too precious for this wild world. Bicey then proceeds to deliver an epic scolding and a beatdown, while Mo Wang tells everyone to get back to the grind. Next, Mo Wang takes to the skies, flying on a sword like an absolute legend to scan and map things out. Then he hits the library, where the librarian's jaw practically hits the floor when she sees how many books he borrowed in just 5 days. She informs him that he has already devoured all the standard books. To get the premium stuff, he will need deeper cultivation and a higher rank. Basically, a VIP pass is required. Mo Wang takes it in stride, quickly telling his friends he uploaded everything to the cloud because he has the tech hookup. Iran sets up a private cloud for the data, while Arrow finesses a cover story for Mo Wang's parents about a long business trip, and Leon gets the clearance he needs. Teamwork making the dream work. Bicey steps in to school Mo Wang about their beast sect, teaching him a mantra to command them. He tests it on a frog, and much to his surprise, the lightning no longer zaps him. Turns out having real cultivation is like a natural shield now. Mo Wang then impresses her with some high-tier martial sect techniques, sparking her interest, but her cultivation level is still way too low to pull off those moves. No worries. Mo Wang has his own grand plan brewing to shake things up. When Bicey asks if he has anything cool to show off, he whips out his phone, calling it a family heirloom that links to other worlds. Of course, there is no free lunch. This bad boy drains his life force and needs a special bond to operate, meaning only he can use it. He flips through folders filled with records from other consciousness spaces, which gets Bicey totally hyped, but 20 minutes later, she is found crashing on. She collapses on the floor, overheated from whatever she just saw. Later, Moon gets down to business, using his spiritual energy to forge some high-tech gear, because why not upgrade his powers by sprinkling a little bit of modern science on top? This guy is about to shake up the cultivation world like nobody has ever seen. It has been over 2 months since Moon transmigrated, and chaos is still his constant companion. One afternoon, someone starts hammering on his door, demanding traveling beasts like they are ordering fast food, but Moon, cool as always, demands to see their identification and goes through the usual paperwork. When the visitor finally steps inside, his jaw drops at the bizarre heap of weird inventions cluttering the room. Moon, wearing a smug look like he owns the place, proudly shows off his little creations before heading off to retrieve a beast for the customer. The man's eyes nearly bulge out when he witnesses the size of the beast. Seriously, who ordered the extra large size? Moon calmly explains the sect has been feeling generous lately, feeding their mounts like they just came back from an all-you-can-eat buffet. The client, ever the realist, accepts the creature since it's mission critical, but good luck moving that absolute giant. After sweating buckets like he just completed a marathon, the guy meekly asks if he can trade it for a smaller one. Moon deadpans that this is actually the skinniest mount they have. While handing over some special feed, Moon accidentally spills some on the man's clothes. That acts like a love potion for the horse, which immediately charges over and starts smothering him with aggressive affection. Talk about some unstoppable attraction right there. Meanwhile, Moon, completely oblivious to the utter madness behind him, rummages through his storage pouch, searching for the actual love potion, finding only beast feed. The poor client, trapped in a giant furry hug, begs for help before making a frantic run for it like his life depends on it. Watching the client sprint away, Moon wonders why he even needed a mount to travel faster when he can already run like a track star. Shrugging, Moon turns back to his projects, enjoying the fact that each mountain peak acts like a separate branch office. Using his 1,000 transformations technique, he replicates several smartphones, but these replicas are completely useless bricks without any network connection. Only his original phone gets internet, so he tosses the duplicates into the growing pile of junk. Not stopping there, Moon combines phone chips with cultivation arrays to build an automatic feeder, but judging by the results, he went a little too far with the portion sizes. The beasts look like they are preparing for a sumo match rather than a mission. Besides that, he crafts custom phones, magic printers, and drones. The printers channel spiritual energy directly into talismans, basically handling the low-level magic equivalent of print, scan, and copy. The drones, powered by spiritual energy batteries, can fly for over 10 hours, making them the ultimate express delivery service in this fantasy world. Feeling ambitious, Moon decides it is time to upgrade and build much bigger, better gear, but after draining his energy, he realizes he has to power up himself. First, because forging giant technology is no walk in the park. Suddenly, his phone buzzes, his group chat blowing up with urgent notifications. A senior disciple drops the bomb that Moon's mother is dangerously ill, needing 3 million for special treatment or a bone marrow transplant. Moon cannot return home to donate, and his wallet is currently emptier than a ghost town, so Abai pitches a wild idea to start broadcasting live streams from this fantasy world to rake in some serious cash. Moon does not even risking his time travel secret. He tells his friends to set up all the equipment for the stream. Just like that, Moon is completely ready to turn his Transmigration journey into prime time fun. Every sect from the mountain gathers together for a massive meeting. There Luchan, the acting sect master of Shunneling Mountain, stands up to deliver some harsh reality checks, almost everyone except the Beast and Merchant factions is dangerously low on basic resources. Next up is the hot topic of the sect elections. The Martial faction is super hyped, gunning for those top ranks as if playing in a final championship game. The Formation sect matches their energy, fully riding the hype wave, while the Merchant and Tool groups choose to play it cool, staying. Beast Division is fast asleep, likely just dreaming about their next comfortable nap. This lazy attitude drives C completely up the wall because she is trying to unite all the disciples, not babysit a crew of lazy slackers. To make matters even worse, they possess the legendary Amber D-Rings, which are highly powerful cultivation boosters, and everyone is eyeing the treasure like the very last slice of pizza. Things are incredibly tense, because their grand sect master is locked deep in seclusion, while the Beast sect leader has mysteriously vanished. Despite all this massive drama, the stubborn elders stay stubborn, refusing to budge. This gives C massive headaches, and she really wishes not for the first time that someone else could handle this nightmare. What happens next? Well, meanwhile, over at the Beast sect, Mong is feeling pretty down. His live streams are total ghost towns with 0 viewers, except his 3 friends, hyping the chat like they are running a lonely party of one. Mong soon realizes he simply lacks the natural charm to easily connect with viewers, but then a sudden realization hits him. Maybe he can get some other person to stream for him. Suddenly, Bicey walks in, looking totally exhausted. Mong notices her bright personality and realizes she is his perfect streaming star. He quickly explains the broadcasting app, promising her that the higher the view count goes, the more free time she gets to play on her phone and watch whatever she likes. Bicey is immediately all in, completely hyped for this. Suddenly, the dumb guy crashes the scene, begging to participate because he wants to read novels. Just days ago, this same guy was begging Mong to lend him the phone after getting hooked during a quick demo. So now with Mong leaving the two in charge, Bicey is determined to boost views. She learns that the absolute fastest way is to initiate a wild versus battle with high energy to hit their target of 1 million views. Bicey takes the challenge seriously and jumps right in. Her first opponent, Tong Jin, is rocking 20 million views and even asks her out for a drink midstream. Bicey thinks fast, pulling inspiration from all the movies she has seen, and delivers the perfect line: her husband is not home and she cannot go out alone. Tong Jin's game crashes hard. He loses followers by the second, while Bicey is too busy roasting the dumb guy in the chat to care. She even starts throwing down not-so-verbal punches live on stream, earning mad respect from viewers impressed by her savage attitude. Trust me, Bicey is stoked when views climb because that means more time to binge her favorite adult animations, sending the chat into complete overdrive with excitement. Tongjin tries once more to ask her out, but Bicey playfully rejects him, claiming she cannot. Downing the strongest sect wine and staying sober, Tongjin absolutely loves her wild side. The live chat is eating up the hype, but the moment Bai hits 1 million views, she alerts Moong and abruptly ends the stream, a savage mic drop moment that leaves Tongjin completely stunned. She walked away from insane numbers. Meanwhile, Moong just watches in absolute awe, realizing he just witnessed a masterclass. Right after, Tongjin follows by and shoots her a collab request, sliding straight into her direct messages. Messages like a total pro. Meanwhile, Moong stares at the invitation as if it's the biggest drop of the year, wishing he could just teleport to her right now. His loyal squad has his back, constantly hyping him up to promote and grow the channel. Like personal hype men, Moong nods in gratitude, but his friends tell him to ease up on the streaming grind and focus on cultivation for that sweet ascension. Energy boost. Over the next few days, their entire schedule runs smoother than silk. Stream views skyrocket as fans flock to watch Bai collaborate with Tong Jin. Hanging out with legendary beasts like it is nothing, the viewers are completely stunned, wondering how she makes these terrifying beasts look like they just bulked up at the gym. Bai drops some serious knowledge about the divine beasts, but completely struggles with basic everyday knowledge. She really cannot understand why Moon keeps demanding she act a bit clueless, though she tries it out with a classic clueless face copied straight from some cringe acting tutorials. Moon rushes to stop her mid-pose, but he is too late. The chat is already spamming screenshots. The internet is already losing its mind over her, going completely wild. Right then, their clueless junior bursts in to announce the upcoming sect elections. Moon wraps up the broadcast, abruptly ending the stream with a quick goodbye. But Z suddenly swoops in with her cute antics, completely saving the stream vibe. Moon has to admit that she is a natural-born queen of live streaming. No doubt about it, after the broadcast, they head over to Shinling Mountain. For the massive election showdown, Moon's jaw drops when he sees the massive crowd. It turns out other sects have traveled in to watch this event. Unfold, confused, Moon asks why their own beast sect has only 3 active disciples, and his seniors reveal the truth. Their sect has been completely abandoned. Their master has been missing on Beast Mountain for 12 years, acting like a rogue character. Their entire combat style relies heavily on spirit beasts, but ever since their master vanished, all the high-level beasts have refused to cooperate. This grand tournament is their only chance to salvage their reputation and get noticed. They arrive right in the center of the arena, where the martial sect master glares at them with the incredibly intense, aggressive gaze of a predator ready to strike. He steps forward, warning them to withdraw from the competition immediately because their master asked him to look out for them. Bai, naturally suspicious, thinks this man simply wants to steal their spotlight and recruit any talented new disciples. The elder rubs his temple in sheer frustration, treating them like a massive headache, claiming they're too weak to even survive the competition, but their foolish junior cuts in, loudly boasting about their immense pride and unyielding fighting spirit. They even push Moon forward as their ultimate secret weapon. The master warns them he will not protect them in the arena, but Moon remains completely unfazed, calmly assuring him they can handle themselves. The elder finally understands. The kid doesn't care about their usual drama and leaves them with a warning to not die easily. Moon immediately throws the shade right back. He declares that the beast sect is here to win. Moon checks his box one last time, making sure everything is absolutely perfect. Right then, Bizishi asks if he is ready. Without a second thought, Moon says it is time to move out, stepping up like an absolute boss. Meanwhile, Bizishi kicks off the livestream with maximum cuteness, begging everyone to smash that heart button as if it owes them money. Inside the arena, Moon tells his viewers that this is no ordinary fight. It is the world's first large-scale real-time broadcast. Talk about flexing some serious innovation. His opponent, however, is visibly annoyed by his attitude. Moon notices the anger and walks straight over to face him. The referee steps in with the official announcement. One fighter reps the Chi sect, the other comes from the Beast sect. The rules are simple but brutal. Knockout or passing out means game over. No limits on magical tools or treasures, so expect absolute chaos. If no winner emerges within an hour, it is a draw. Both fighters are incredibly hyped. The drone livestream buzzes with energy, and the Beast sect disciples are screaming their lungs out for Moon like they are at a concert, greeting each other. Moon analyzes his opponent's style. Chi sect fighters are known to use tools, always pulling crazy tricks out of a hat, while the Beast sect prefers spirit beasts for combat. Moon casually summons his spirit frog, but the Chi sect opponent looks unfazed. Clearly, his cultivation is on another level. Suddenly, the snake-like Chi sect warrior strikes first with a chaos thunder attack, trapping Moon in a blinding storm that ruins his vision. Classic move, but Mong is no rookie. He opens his trunk and throws circular objects all around him like party decorations, but these are actually landmines. The Chi sect guy tries sneaking in for a surprise attack, but promptly steps right on a mine. Boom. The blast leaves him completely dumbfounded, blinking as if he just got hit with an unexpected plot twist. Mong, ever the gentleman, explains that he just got hit by a landmine. The Chi sect guy's confusion hits peak levels. How is a beast sect warrior using tools? Mong drops the truth bomb: you don't have to stick to one trick. Versatility is key, refusing to be outdone. The Chi sect warrior dusts himself off and opts for a long-range attack. He pulls out a cannon to blast spiritual energy, trying to make a flashy comeback. But before he can even fire, Mong's AK-17, yes, he actually built it himself, destroys the cannon like it is yesterday's news. The Chi sect guy loses his mind, probably questioning his life choices. He wonders if he accidentally wandered into some sci-fi movie. Mong, cool as ice, warns him to watch out, casually putting a finger on the trigger, but the Chi sect warrior, clearly terrified, throws in the towel before Mong even fires. The referee immediately declares Mong the winner, and the beast sect fans explode into cheers as if they just won a championship. Meanwhile, the masters are side-eyeing the whole situation, calling the beast sect's use of tools a dirty trick that will not last long. Classic haters hating on innovation. Mong swaps places with his senior brother, whose turn has finally come to enter the arena. Because apparently, even in a battle, you have to know when to hand over the spotlight. He then opens the live stream to check the hype and sees they have already blasted past 3 million views, but guess what? The chat is still full of skeptics, acting like it is some fake flex. So Mong goes full influencer mode, trying to convince everyone it is real-time interactive, for real. Meanwhile, the senior brother faces off against his opponent like they are old rivals at a reunion. This guy is flexing hard, showing off his leveled-up cultivation, and even throws shade that the senior brother would still be stuck in the beast sect if he had not bounced. Mong's instincts instantly tingle. Something is definitely suspicious here. Bicey spills the tea. His opponent is Maki, the last dude their master picked before disappearing. Maki dipped to the Wu sect after the master vanished and apparently started leveling up there. Mong is unsure if he is purely disloyal, but one thing is clear: he is not someone to mess with. Maki even tells the senior brother to chill because he does not want to disrespect their brotherhood by beating him. But oh no, our stubborn senior brother is not about to fold like cheap paper. Once the fight kicks off, both of them get into their battle stances like it is a dance-off. Maki wastes no time slamming the ground with a powerful fire fist so hard the earth cracks, but senior brother dodges smoother than a cat, avoiding bath time. Maki brags about having way more power despite being on the same cultivation level, but senior brother just hits back with a silent move, casting a spell and hiding it underground, playing it incredibly cool. Maki steps up all fired up, literally mocking the beast sect like it is some joke. But prepare yourselves, because senior brother calls out to Qing Xuan, and out pops a blue snake that coils around Maki like a pro wrestler's finishing move. The snake has the fire completely on lock, freezing Maki's arm, leaving him shook. Who knew this sect had tricks up their sleeve? Bicey drops the update that this is the Qing Xuan spirit snake, and the crowd's jaws basically hit the floor. Even the fairies are side-eyeing, suspecting it might be because of the new disciple shaking things up in the arena. Senior brother's spirit snake has Maki firmly in its grip, basically saying, I do not care who you are, I will show what the beast sect really means. Maki still thinks the sect is a joke with only 3 disciples, but senior brother schools him with the truth. Their master told them to keep it on the down low after he vanished. No backup, no hype, but now they have to put the beast sect on the map and fight back hard, summoning a fire snake in the other hand. He merges both spirit snake's powers, leveling up like it is a cheat code, making him stronger than Maki, with a flashy spell. And a combined snake attack, he leaves Maki dumbfounded and on the defensive. The other masters start to notice, nodding along. Okay, the beast sect is finally not a joke. Meanwhile, Mong is practically losing his mind, realizing his so-called dumb senior brother was secretly packing serious power the whole time. Mong's friends hit him up with the news about the cash he has been raking in from his live streams, and they have already sent the whole stack to his mom and dad. Mong is incredibly grateful, like seriously, he is bowing in his heart, but he cannot help but point out with a bit of irony that none of this money would never have crossed his screen if that crazy transmigration drama had not gone down. What a weird twist of fate. He is basically cashing in on a cosmic glitch. Meanwhile, up in a fancy skyrise tower, a woman is straight up losing her cool because her team cannot track down Mong. The tech geniuses cannot even figure out what kind of digital wizardry he is using on his live streams. Still, they manage to sniff out some clues about the masterminds behind the scenes. The boss lady demands they chase these guys down right away since this tech is next level. Think lightning bolts that actually zing and special effects that could easily fool a Hollywood director, with fabric textures so real you want to touch them, and flying sword trajectories smoother than your favorite influencers. Transitions, they have to snag these geniuses before anyone else catches on, or it is game over for them. In the competition arena, the fairy plays the role of hype announcer, declaring to the crowd that day one of the competition is officially wrapped up. The stakes are high and winners move forward, while the ultimate champion scores a golden ticket straight to the sacred cultivation spring. No pressure at all. Back with the beast sect disciples, the mood shifts to strategizing for the next round. Mong is up against the Wu sect, but his senior brother drops a harsh truth bomb. Those Wu disciples are no joke, and Mong's rifle will not do squat unless he aims right for their eyeballs. Instant hope deflation, just as Mong's dreams of breezing into the immortal spring start to fade. Basie throws out a wild card, a dangerous but potentially game-changing tactic to beat the Wu sect. She explains that the beast sect disciples can buff up by bonding with spirit beasts. Most of their beasts are lazy pets, but there is this secret spirit illusion world packed with ancient, savage beasts. If they can make a pact with one of those beasts, they can take on opponents way beyond their league. Mong is practically bouncing off the walls with excitement, but Basie quickly reminds him it is not a solo trip. They need a strong protector, or it is basically a one-way ticket to the afterlife. Even his senior brother backs this up, calling it a death sentence to go in alone. Mong's brain immediately jumps to the fairy. Does she have the muscle to guard them, and is she dealing with drama in the sect? Basie spills the tea. The big shots are all going through tribulations. No sect leaders have her back, so she is kind of riding solo. But yep, she is strong enough to protect them without missing a beat. Mong drags his senior brother along, determined to find the fairy immediately. When they show up at the fairy's place, she is already on alert, wondering why these two are crashing her late-night chill session. Mong hands his spare phone to his senior brother and boldly strolls inside alone. The fairy calls him out for barging in, but Mong shrugs off the attitude and steps up like he owns the place. She immediately conjures a spiritual ball, ready to throw down, but Mong drops a bombshell. He has a plan to help her take control of the sect leader and fix her problems. The fairy perks up instantly. Now that is how you get her attention. Outside, his senior brother is casually reading a novel when the door swings open and the dude steps out. Mong confidently announces that the fairy is officially their bodyguard now, which means it is game on. The group can finally step into the beast's spirit illusion realm. Things are about to get wild. Standing right at the gateway, the crew can barely believe it. They are at the threshold of a place so untamed it hosts beasts on the verge of ascension. This is definitely no walk-in. The park, the territory, is split into 10 zones, each more dangerous than the last. It is like game levels designed by a sadistic developer. Bicey checks in, asking if Mong has chosen his spirit beast yet, but instead of a simple reply, Mong starts a very long, incredibly detailed speech about the beast he wants to catch. Bicey raises an eyebrow, pointing out that the exact monkey Mong wants is notoriously difficult to train. That is why it is still stuck inside the illusion realm, but Mong has the unshakable confidence of a little kid who believes he can tame a wild dragon by whispering sweet words. The fairy steps forward with a very serious vibe, warning everyone to stay alert because she is ready to break the seal. Her magic disrupts the ancient runes and burns a paperman to ashes. Why not add some fiery drama? As the gates swing open, she commands the entire crew to dive right in without any hesitation, treating these spirit beasts like items in a crazy clearance sale. Meanwhile, on the outside, a bitter Mubai senses the paperman burning and realizes the gates are open. Now watch inside the actual realm. A cute little beast is happily eating its snack when a sneaky snake tries to ambush it from behind, but plot twist, this cute creature has a hidden weapon. It opens a mouth from its rear end and chomps the head of the snake clean off. What a terrifying surprise. The second it senses humans, it bolts like it saw a monster. Mong instantly notices the incredibly heavy, dense energy in the air. The fairy explains that it comes from a branch of the immortal spring. It is basically an endless buffet feeding these local spirit creatures. Mong wonders why they cannot simply train here, but Beiji drops down some deep wisdom. They need quality over quantity. Meanwhile, she completely forgets they are currently streaming, so Mong calls her out for acting all high and mighty. As they set up a drone, the fairy looks at it suspiciously since it shows zero energy flow. Mong switches into full-on tech enthusiast mode, getting close to explain how his flying gadget works like some sci-fi weapon. Right behind them, the senior brother uses his vast novel knowledge to diagnose the feelings Mong has for the fairy, calling him a hopeless pursuer. Type the guy who is always chasing but never winning. Bicey, ever the schemer, suggests Mong should scare the fairy a bit and blackmail her into giving him a chance. The senior brother thinks the ideas from Bicey are on a whole different level of crazy. Mong scans the entire G area, mapping out the cultivation hotspots. He crunches the numbers and figures out that physical power in this realm ranges from half a ton to a full ton, with strength and recovery getting massive boosts. With this intel, they can figure out what kind of materials work best for trapping these tricky beasts. The fairy is quite impressed, but asks if Mong plans on crafting tools to deal with the beasts. Ever the showman, Mong boasts that he is still gathering raw data. First, it is the classic research, never-ends excuse as the four start moving. They head deeper into the territory, completely unaware that unwanted company is already on their tail. Mugai is absolutely fuming. This secret illusion realm was opened for a complete newbie. Yet whenever Mugai asked, his master gave him some trash excuse about being out of town. Now he and his crew are here, armed with a forbidden beast taming technique. Their plan is simple: grab a few high-tier spirit beasts and get out fast. But as they venture further in, Mofin starts to notice something really strange. The guide manual says this zone should be packed with monsters, but his drone sees nothing. Not a single powerful demon is in sight. Meanwhile, Beiji is just as clueless. She never paid attention on previous trips because her master always shielded her. In fact, she was banned from coming here until she reached the Golden Core stage. Even the fairy knows next to nothing about what the older generation was up to. Her master basically went off the grid, choosing total seclusion over everything else. Once these powerful masters ascended, they either hid away or just vanished completely. It is like they dropped off the face of the earth. The senior brother chimes in. He points out that while many attempt ascension, very few actually succeed. Reaching that stage is incredibly rare because it is the ultimate gateway to eternal life. It is a massive deal. Still, while discussing these heavy topics, they reach the next zone. Ever the cautious one, Mofin decides it is best to scout ahead first. He sends his drone over the boundary, but a massive surprise is waiting. The camera feed suddenly goes pitch black, as if someone completely severed the connection. Sensing danger, Bison and the senior brother quickly summon a protective barrier. They shield Mofin like protective parents, guarding their kid from a horror movie monster. Meanwhile, the fairy calls forth her signature lotus flower to light their way forward. They step through the boundary, and boom, a massive beast is waiting for them. It crashes the party immediately. The fairy tries to hold it back with her magic. But this monster is built different. It shatters her energy barrier like cheap glass. The team scrambles to dodge the debris, staring in absolute disbelief at the beast. It is a giant rainbow tiger, looking wildly out of place in this dark realm. And this flashy beast has been running absolute wild in this sector. It has been on a massive rampage, beating up other monsters and wrecking everything. Just then, the senior brother senses something even worse, a flood dragon nearby. That is terrible news. These dragons are definitely not supposed to be in level G. That means Mofin and his crew are now in deep trouble. They have a giant rainbow tiger blocking their path, and the exit is sealed. Mofin quickly pulls out his phone to search for any info on this monster. Who needs ancient scrolls when you have search engines? Meanwhile, the fairy summons an ice lotus. The spell instantly freezes the giant tiger solid. They hop back onto the lotus. The ice is already cracking, but Mofin finally finds the tiger's weak spot. This giant demon tiger apparently has a massive soft spot for celestial plants. He rumbles through his bag like he is looking for a midnight snack. Finally, he pulls out a weird green ball that looks like an alien toy. He tosses it. The tiger breaks free from the ice but stops dead in its tracks. It immediately starts chasing the floating plant like a kitten chasing a laser pointer. Mofin acts smug, pretending this was his master plan from the very beginning. Talk about a pro beast tamer. They push deeper into the forest. There is another barrier. That is pretty weird because magical walls are not supposed to just pop up out of nowhere. They walk right past the defeated monsters and finally reach a waterfall. Someone has been waiting right here. For them, could this be the second time traveler? Talk about a crazy plot twist. Worthy of a massive season finale cliffhanger. What would you do with superpowers? If you ask Icon Ruled, he would just keep the whole world cool. Basically, he would treat his power like the ultimate VIP pass to the universe. With that absolute boss mindset, he casually snatches up the creepy stalker, who has been spying on their stream, telling him he wants to chat with his boss. Meanwhile, Moong and the squad finally track down the massive dragon, who casually drops a major bomb about another time traveler. The fairy quickly pipes up, pointing out that this beast is just a hair from ascending to heaven. He has achieved a fully awake mind, essentially becoming an edgy demon cultivator. The dragon acts completely chill, inviting everyone to step closer with a promise. He will not hurt them. Naturally, everyone is suspicious of his friendly offer. So the beast violently drags them in. He introduces himself with a flourish as Xiang, handing over a wooden chest to Moong like some legendary dungeon reward. Inside, Moong finds an old pager. Yes, a pager, adding some classic retro style. And he wonders if another person crossed worlds before him. The dragon shares the truth. About 40 years ago, another outsider from their world arrived, and the story he tells is about to change everything they know. The fairy gets completely confused by this, but the ancient dragon tells her to shut up and wait. The last traveler was Wei Jun, whom fairy remembers as an unbelievable cultivation prodigy, reaching the golden core stage in only 10 years. Talk about an overachiever. 13 years ago, Wei Jun helped hunt the demon dragon, but perished doing so. After that terrible failure, the supreme masters of ascension went into hiding. But now the dragon drops a major bombshell. these historical events are all linked. After that battle, everyone realized that ascension is a massive lie. Naturally, the humans gasp in absolute shock, with even Fairy questioning how the ultimate path to immortality could ever be a lie. The beast explains that the deception was exposed due to a wild incident. During that historic fight, a Taoist was ready to ascend after surviving his lightning tribulation, but Wei Jun jumped in and absorbed the heavenly sparks. He cracked open a gap in the sky. Instantly, the Supreme Masters were swatted like mosquitoes, crushed by some terrifying entity in the heavens. The survivors are completely shattered. Fairy, ever. The skeptic asks the critical question, what is the point of cultivation if reaching the ultimate peak ends in tragedy? Zhang, totally unfazed, says he has been waiting here for the next traveler. These native mortals simply do not understand. They slowly grind through levels with endless effort. But travelers play on easy mode. There are no limits or shackles. Next, Zhang blasts Moon with a wave of pure, concentrated energy. It feels like a massive cheat code, forcing his power up 3 realms. The dragon laughs, praising Moon for bypassing all normal mortal boundaries. Just like that, the final boss hands him the ultimate power-up, back in the modern world. Oin handles the local mob like it is just another casual Tuesday. That is until the boss finally decides to show her face. Oin, cool as ever, casually drops the news that he is here to deal with her. Then he immediately senses she is trying to slightly hide her phone behind her back, as if anyone could pull a fast one on him. Moving at the speed of light, he swipes the phone before she can even blink, flexing those crazy reflexes like a ninja on espresso. With zero effort, he crushes the device in his bare hands, sending a very clear message to this boss. Lady, honestly, what was she even thinking? Do not get so reckless. He is not here for casual chit-chat, but to discuss the Earthlings who crossed over. Dropping serious boss energy. Meanwhile, Moan gets hit with a surprise bombshell. With enough spiritual energy, cultivators keep rising. Fairy, being the resident skeptic, suggests they spread the word that ascension is basically a total scam to save others from the hype train, but the dragon is having none of that, calling her out for tripping hard on conspiracy theories, explaining that before this crossover chaos, tons of cultivators already knew the truth but kept quiet because the fallout would be a total disaster, powerful beings losing their entire purpose and running wild. Even their senior brother is fully in the loop about the demon sect rebellion, which all started because power went completely off the rails without any control. The dragon reveals that Jun and the crew figured it out too, leaving all their secrets in this very place. Predicting the arrival of this exact gang, acting like mystical psychics on steroids, Bicey chimes in, pointing out that only folks from the TNG sect can truly calculate fate and future stuff. The dragon reveals the man could not predict outsiders, but did predict 2 people would get tangled up with those messing with ascension. The senior brother suddenly perks up, clearly curious about his own fate. But the dragon was warned in that prediction, telling him to steer clear of the dumb guy tagging along. That has got to hurt. Meanwhile, Moan and Bicey watch the drama unfold, noting that the prediction was pretty spot on. When the dragon asks for a quick break to keep his cultivation under the ascension radar, he throws a pouch into the sky, releasing a bunch of beasts from a void bag like it is some kind of mystical pet store opening. Moan immediately wonders if the dragon captured them, but the dragon acts highly offended by that question. His old colleagues actually volunteered for this fate. Once they realized that ascension meant certain death, they hid here to dodge it, but their cultivation kept spiking. Anyway, these brave beasts made a hardcore choice. They asked the dragon to collect their bodies, instead of ending up trapped in cages. Instead, they turned themselves into powerful artifacts for weaker spiritual beasts, sacrificing their own lives to make sure no demon could ascend after learning the harsh truth. It was the ultimate act of rebellion against those above the Thunder tribulation. These beasts literally cut off their own paths just to give the future a little hope. With a somber farewell, the dragon says goodbye to his friends who are now gone for good, leaving a heavy silence hanging in the air. Unshrine is just an average guy living a completely regular life while his friend Moon crossed over to another world ages ago. At first, Unshrine Awan doesn't buy any of Moon's time-traveling tales. Seriously, who would? Who even believes that stuff anymore? It just sounds like a wild fantasy. You would scroll right past it on your feed, but despite his skepticism, Awan cannot shake the idea. He is still obsessed. Even when chewed out at work for unreasonable demands and collapsing tiredly onto his bed, his mind keeps drifting back. He wants that magic. Eventually, the crazy idea takes root. He starts believing and begins guiding Moon like a reluctant mentor. Honestly, the whole situation is hilarious. Moon is clearly the main character over there, while poor Awan grinds away on Earth, drowning under a mountain of pointless work revisions. Late-night work messages keep pinging his phone. He does not care. He straight up ignores them. Honestly, who wouldn't want to escape? Instead of staying stuck in a cubicle, Awan daydreams constantly. He wants to cultivate, then Moon suddenly drops actual manuals on him. Curious and a bit desperate, Awan actually tries cultivating on Earth. It actually works, shocker, but he quickly realizes he cannot rush it. So playing it safe, he tells his friends he cannot cultivate yet. Still, he offers to build a database and asks for more books. Slowly, Awan feels his entire life shifting on a brand new axis. Time itself moves differently now. Earth's spiritual energy is incredibly weak. In most places, it is practically non-existent, completely gone. But he hunts down specific spots with just enough energy to harvest. His friends get no boost at all. Awan wonders why. Is he some rare exception? At the gym, his strength suddenly explodes. His mental focus has skyrocketed from cultivation. He starts flexing. Two cocky guys stroll right up, telling him he needs to move. They are fully convinced a weakling like him cannot lift anything heavy. One throwaway bet changes everything. He promises to eat a barbell if Awan actually lifts it, so Awan channels his incredible hidden power. The bullies snicker, expecting a joke. They are not ready. He effortlessly lifts the massive weight. It feels like a feather. Everyone freezes, completely stunned. The challengers keep adding more plates. Awan keeps crushing every single lift without even breaking a sweat. For once, Awan actually feels like the main character. He rules. The loudmouth bully is forced to literally swallow his own words, fully admitting that Awan is now the undisputed king of the gym. Meanwhile, our senior brother over there absolutely cannot handle this crazy info dump. Dimensional travel, a fake ascension, and Moon being the ultimate cheat code. It instantly triggers his internal warning bells. Something is very fishy. So he puts on his thinking cap to solve this mystery. After what can only be called a legendary big brain moment, he knows Moon is the actual protagonist of this entire cosmic story. Staying close to him is a guaranteed ticket to a perfect life. Without wasting a single second, he runs straight to Moon, pulling the ultimate bro move by loudly calling the young dragon big brother. It is a terrifying stare, but Moon steps in like a pro, assuring everyone that his senior brother is just a walking headache on the surface. Then, the dragon tosses some elite cultivation materials to Moon, making him feel completely invincible. But wait, the beast immediately drops a reality check, warning that far stronger enemies are coming, and Moon still lacks the main ingredient. June possessed that absolute, savage hunger for victory. To turn things up, the dragon hands over June's cultivation techniques and personal notes from his early days of crossing over, hyping this moment up to the max. Meanwhile, Moon's excitement level is somewhere between a sleepy old man and a lazy house cat, ignoring a laser pointer, still doubting these notes can help him. He doubts they can actually boost his power. Next, the dragon digs out the last relics June. Left behind, first up is the Cultivation Manual. June, the legendary transmigrator, was basically a mad genius who spent years figuring out how to leap between worlds. After a wild accident, he vanished during a massive tribulation, leaving behind a treasure trove of power that starts rewiring Meng's brain. The ultimate prize is Tiangangong, a technique so absurd it makes his body a walking fortress immune to almost any attack. Beiji instantly recognizes this as their sect leader's signature move, built only for kids. No less, this technique is like the sect's secret handshake everyone is supposed to master, but Meng glances over at the fairy and instantly spots a massive drawback. To survive using this skill, he must keep his yang energy completely pure. Translation: absolutely zero fun times with the ladies. Suddenly, being a transmigrator loses all its charm if he cannot hold his beloved fairy. It feels like his life just got slammed with a cheap plot twist. From some drama, an existential dread hits him hard, but the dragon, acting like a true savior, hands him the notes to clear the confusion. Fueled by newfound hope, Meng dives straight into June's past. It turns out June was a normal guy working at a steel mill until destiny played a wild card and he fell into an immortal spring. Boom's spiritual power floods him like a cheat code. Activated, soon, the sect master swoops in to recruit him as a disciple. Life is amazing. He easily marries the master's daughter. Fame and status with absolute ease. But one quiet, lonely night, June gets hit with a massive existential crisis, feeling a deep, endless void. As he ponders life and the universe, realizing the hard way that things obtained too easily only led to empty pain, so he vows that if he ever meets another transmigrator, he will restrain them and force them to push humanity forward. Reading this, Meng simply cannot hold back his tears. June got the dream life. Meanwhile, Meng is stuck grinding a basic kid's technique. Desperate, Meng powers up, an intense aura swirling around him like he is about to unleash some legendary power. But wait, he is just crying his eyes out, wishing he could swap lives with June. Meanwhile, everyone else stands there with their jaws on the floor, wondering if they somehow walked into a dramatic soap opera, turning his sharp gaze back to the dragon. Meng fiercely demands the beast to shatter this. Talk about a maddening technique. The dragon explains there is still a way out. The fairy drops some deep lore, revealing the ancient legend that ascension can actually break this restriction. But hold on, they just discovered that ascension is a massive scam. It is basically a one-way ticket to the afterlife, and staying behind means signing your own death certificate. Still, the dragon tries to hype things up, assuring Mo Wang that this technique will make him stronger, offering a cheat code to cross back to his own world to escape ascension. Realizing time is running out, Mo Wang decides they need to leave this place immediately. But of course, Bicey and his senior brother cannot resist teasing him about being unable to watch adult videos. Mo Wang claps back, banning them from their guilty pleasures as well, since revenge is best served cold. Back on track, Mo Wang reminds the group they have been camping here all night, and that the second round of the sect election is starting. He tells the dragon to use a quick disguise to sneak in with them. Poof, the dragon transforms into a convincing human form. Mo Wang strides confidently toward the competition arena with total swagger, while the fairy starts to feel suspicious of his technique, sniffing out trouble like a professional detective. As they make their way through the illusion realm, they suddenly stumble upon Fallen Moon and his group. The dragon spots them first, alerting the others that Mu and his allies tried to sneak in for an easy win. But the dragon does not care and frees them too. Meanwhile, back at the competition venue, the crowd is waiting around, completely restless and growing highly impatient. The atmosphere is tense. Shang, the rival disciple, has already been checking his clock for Mo Wang for over half an hour. Rumors begin to spread. that Mo Wang might just forfeit, just as the gossip reaches its peak and Elder senses a massive presence approaching. Boom, Mo Wang crashes in with all the blinding flash of a superstar making a grand entrance, as if he just dropped the hottest album of the year. He lands right in the center of the arena, announcing his arrival like an absolute boss. The fairy strolls in fashionably late, casually explaining she had some business to handle, but nobody is paying attention to her, because everyone is completely captivated by Mo Wang's massive aura. Mo Wang confidently steps forward to face his formidable opponent, but even the official handling the match looks incredibly tired as he prepares to announce the second round of the sect election. The match is officially set between the elite disciple from the Shang sect and Mo Wang, representing the Beast sect. As the duel begins, Shang throws out a very provocative question mocking Mo Wang's cultivation technique, but despite being from the Beast sect, Mo Wang delivers a devastating response. Asking such a question is basically signing a death warrant. Shang's pride takes a heavy hit, and he retaliates, launching his abacus like a deadly projectile. Mo Wang senses the individual attacks floating dangerously around him, but his spiritual barrier holds incredibly firm, refusing to let any of the strikes break through. It is like trying to reach someone with maximum privacy settings active. The watching sect elders quickly notice that Mo Wang is using a bizarre combination of techniques. It reminds everyone of Wei Jun, that legendary genius who only appears once every generation, but Mo is not here to brag about his incredible skills. He only wants to finish this battle quickly, confident his recent power-ups will make it look effortless. So he triggers the first level of his divine power, but Shang, sitting at the fourth level of divine power, just stands there confused. Mo gasps in shock. He had no clue disciples with 10 years of training could be this savage. Shang expected a massive showdown from Mo, but seeing such a rookie move, he goes all out with a devastating strike. Mo is screaming on the inside at his own foolish overconfidence, holding his head like he just got hit by a massive reality check. He is stunned that his shield is still holding on. The dragon cannot understand why Mo is panicking, reminding the entire group that the innate child technique is basically the absolute ultimate defensive move in the world. The other masters glare at the dragon warily, but choose to ignore the drama. For now, back in the arena, Shang keeps unleashing non-stop brutal attacks, but Mo effortlessly dodges every single blow. Then, the next deadly move lands. A massive glowing disc appears in the sky carrying power that is clearly beyond the standard divine level. An older disciple explains that this move absorbs nearby spiritual energy to grow even stronger. Buys worries if Mo can survive this, but the dragon remains totally relaxed, basically saying he has got this under control. The massive orb begins plummeting toward Mo, who blocks with his arms, as if defending against a surprise final boss. But Shang is not done. His massive orb is greedily absorbing spiritual energy, growing larger and more dangerous by the second. Shang explains that the more power he gathers, the faster he can drain his opponent, basically trying to force Mo into submission. But Mo has finally found his confidence. This wild universe, he refuses to give up, trapped inside the special child grip of that technique. He is ready to face everyone and prove he is no joke. So in a bold move to show off his true power, he grabs the giant orb and allows it to absorb as much power as it wants, causing Shang to panic. His energy-absorbing orb is completely full, but Mo still has plenty of power to spare. The orb shatters because no spiritual construct can survive his absolute determination to break the barrier. Now, the wealthy boss lady is closely watching Asan with a deep mix of suspicion and curiosity, but he cuts through the awkward silence by saying he only needs a few guys for a job. But the lady is not offering favors for free, reminding him that business is always about give and take. In a smooth move, she offers him some cash and promises to handle the police if he just leaves. She starts writing a hefty check to buy him out, but Asan is not interested. He slams his hand down onto the table with pure authority, shattering the calm atmosphere. Suddenly, the tension shifts like something straight out of a dramatic show, intense and heavy. But Asan remains completely ice-cold, reminding her they already have technology. Insane wealth and power, what they truly desire is life itself. To prove his point, he plays a video of a child miraculously recovering, daring her to contact the local hospital to verify the miracle herself. He is offering her the greatest opportunity ever in exchange for her business. Meanwhile, back in the cultivation world, Bize is streaming live with a massive dog because she just has to flex her pet online. Showing off a pet is cool, but she cuts the stream as people approach. Like a pro influencer dodging drama, she instantly shifts into battle mode alongside her senior brother. They draw their weapons as if they are preparing to start an epic joint battle. This entire crowd of crazed women has gathered here for one man only, Mong. Her senior brother lays down the law, yelling that anyone wanting Mong must go through him. But the ladies are not having it, slapping him away and trampling over him. They run right over poor Bize like a mere speed bump on their mission for Mong. Her senior brother cries out, claiming they did their best while Mong just chills. Inside a quiet cottage, Mong is trying to stab himself like an actor in a soap opera. But his divine halo acts like a shield, making his self-sabotage completely useless. Feeling completely defeated, he turns his attention to the fairy. He begs her to become his Tao companion, treating it like the ultimate best friend request. Even the dragon is on board with this plan because outside the cottage, chaos reigns. A massive fangirl convention has formed out there just for Mong. Honestly, Mong never expected so much hype from his innate child technique. It is like going viral online for doing absolutely nothing at all. After his massive win in the competition, every master agrees he is a genius like Wei Jun. When a prodigy like him practices the purest form of this technique, every sect wants him. All the sects send their female disciples on a wild hunt to recruit him. Their ultimate goal is to snag him as a Tao companion using every trick possible. These ladies use every seduction play, turning into a pack of fierce predators. Mong gets all this attention because he is not just incredibly smart. He is also rocking the most coveted technique in the world, making the hype very real. Even the dragon confirms Mong is the most popular Tao companion candidate around. But the guy himself is humble as hell, begging the fairy to be his Tao partner. Finally, the fairy relents, giving him the green light to announce their union. It is the ultimate relationship goal. Meanwhile, in the busy modern world, friends Olying and Abby Yao meet up with Ayan over the busy weekend. Abby Yao, always the homebody, wonders why they even bothered leaving the house. Couldn't they just stay inside and binge-watch some show instead? But Olying, the ultimate hype friend, quickly hits back hard. She reminds her that sometimes you have to get off your lazy butt. You need to actually go out and enjoy some real-life human interaction. They quickly gossip about Ayan quitting his job because who needs that 9-to-5 grind? Now he is working at Gang Corporation, the massive streaming and influencer giant. This news instantly sends Abby Yao into full fangirl mode over the online fame. Meanwhile, Ayan is low-key confused, noticing his friends lack any spiritual energy. He wonders if he is literally the last cultivator left in this world. Talk about being the ultimate lone wolf as he tries to keep things low-key. But he cannot help but wonder what his existence means in this modern mess. Far away at the foot of the mountain, an old man treks along with a kid. Heading to a major competition, the kid is full of intense self-doubt. Convinced he cannot beat the sect disciples, he still wants to borrow his master's gourd. But the old man is not having it, immediately scolding him instead. He scolds the kid for being too greedy, promising him a personal gourd once he finally levels up. Frustrated, the kid wonders if he needs a better master. 2 centuries of cultivation, and he is still stuck at divine ability. Suddenly, complete chaos. A carriage comes barreling down the road. Driving like they own the place, the kid tries to shoo away their donkey, but the master stops him. He simply flicks his finger, effortlessly sending the massive carriage veering off. The carriage crashes, and out storms an angry cultivator from the elite Kang Long sect. They are one of 7 great sects, and furious that anyone would dare block their path. He immediately bursts into tears, a total mood in this situation. The Kang Long disciple is fuming and ready to fight, but the old man steps up. He claps back with some savage lines that only make the angry disciple even more heated. Right when a major fight is about to break out, the old man pulls a wild move. He leaps away dramatically, then he starts crying like a baby. Claiming the Kang Long carriage ran him over, he starts sobbing for sympathy. And now this big bully is trying to beat up a poor old man, talk about shameless. The gathering crowd eats up the drama, completely buying into his Oscar-worthy performance. He tries to call the bluff, but our old man cranks his theatrics up to 11. Suddenly, a voice inside the carriage tells the flustered disciple to handle the mess. The guy has to hand over a shiny, highly expensive elixir to the old man as payment. Crisis averted, but the kid is still left totally shook. He is shocked by the incredible wealth these great sects have on tap. Talk about flexing. As if that is not enough, he spots a giant lotus flower flying right past them. His jaw drops even lower at the Yongling sect's next-level flying skills. All 7 great sects are rolling in for the massive event, ready to show off. The burning question now is who will end up as the ultimate champion of this meet. Who will shake up the 3 realms and leave a lasting legacy for ages to come. This epic gathering is going to be straight fire. Meanwhile, the boss lady finally. She meets the kid in the hospital, who casually reveals a random man cured him. Hearing this strange news definitely makes her raise an eyebrow in suspicion. Supernatural elements are suddenly very real, no more ghost stories. She promptly orders her loyal underling to agree to Awan's terms for now. Meanwhile, our boy Awan is out there trekking up the mountain path alone. He eventually reaches an old temple that looks completely abandoned. Deserted, even worse than a dead zone in the middle of nowhere. The only occupant is an old man chilling and taking a peaceful nap. Awan scans the ancient temple, but senses absolutely zero spiritual energy around them. Total ghost town vibe. Suddenly, the old priest perks up. He calls him a friend with some crazy, unexpected enthusiasm. Awan is pretty intrigued, wondering if this guy is actually a secret master. The old man starts blabbering about luck and fate. He acts like he is reading directly from some cheap fortune cookie instruction manual. Sitting Awan down, the elder spins a tale about a massive fortune heading his way. This actually makes Awan think the temple hermit might not be a total scam artist. The guy reads Awan's palm and warns of a looming calamity that brings division. Pretty dramatic stuff, almost like some ancient soap opera. Asujin takes a look and notices the old man's spiritual meter is still dead at 0. He asks if there is actually a legitimate way to dodge this absolute disaster. The priest confidently suggests a classic solution: make an offering of incense and move to the temple. It is basically the ancient world's classic equivalent of sending money to make all problems disappear. Immediately, Asujin's inner skeptic hits full throttle, instantly spotting the old man as a total swindler. Without wasting a second, he stands up and walks out. Just as he is leaving, a kid walks in. And the old man immediately recycles the exact same scam like a completely broken record. Asujin realizes he might have been overthinking everything and decides to head out. As he moves on, he suddenly senses an incredibly massive spike in spiritual energy, as if someone just cranked the volume all the way up, using his incredible super speed. Because why walk when you can fly? Asujin leaps up the mountain following the intense energy trail until he zeroes in on some incredibly thick, ancient roots that are Basically nature's version of a hidden passcode. These heavy roots hide a cave. Entrance where a glowing spiritual gateway is literally opening up right in front of him. He dives inside, absorbing the rich energy like a seasoned pro, but something is off. There is not a single living thing around, giving off major abandoned. Haunted house vibes. Inside, Asujin finds ancient tablets warning immortals not to open the gate or pass through, serving as the ultimate warning sign to stay away. But since he is no ordinary mortal, he tries to open the door anyway, only to find it stubbornly refuses to budge like a locked phone without security access. After roaming through countless famous mountains and rivers over these past few days, Asujin has come to a solid conclusion. He is the last cultivator left in this world, and he is ready to make sure it stays that way. Meanwhile, Mo Wang casually asks Adon to crack a cultivation array, comparing it to electronic circuit diagrams. He is totally fine with waiting forever, but naturally, he always keeps himself extremely quiet about the real reason. After all, nobody needs to know he is practicing celibacy techniques. As night creeps in, his senior brother multitasks like a pro, scrolling through novels on his phone while casually throwing heavy punches at Mo Wang with the other hand. When the sheer annoyance hits absolute peak levels, he casually fires off a blast, using just the tip of his finger, smugly announcing he is suppressing his cultivation level just to keep things fair. Mo Wang is scratching his head, wondering how he managed to get schooled yet again by his master. The senior brother breaks it down. They are basically playing in completely different leagues when it comes to controlling spiritual energy. Then, spotting the flying lotus, he snaps out his name for the first time, japing, no longer just a nameless senior brother. Mo Wang, wiped out from training, watches the glowing lotus land gently in the cave, just as the fairy descends with some tools for his upcoming fight. He thanks his Dao companion so sincerely that she instantly turns beet red. The poor fairy gets so incredibly flustered. She tries to make a quick exit, but Mo Wang is not having it. He grabs her hand and begs for a little company. Smooth move, Mo Wang, incredibly smooth. Under the vast night sky, the fairy drops some honesty bombs, confessing she just does not understand him. Mo Wang, no stranger to self-reflection, admits he is basically just floating through life without any real purpose. Back in elementary school, when asked to draw his future, he sketched a rocket, big dreams, but now he wonders if anyone actually knows what they want. For him, the future is blank. No grand ambitions, no burning desires. He has always felt pretty detached from the concept of goals. Just getting by is enough. Every single day, he simply repeats his dull daily routine. Drifting like a zombie is fine. He has no drive to live, yet he fears death. Then he crossed over into this fantasy world, yet even here, his old doubts still linger. He still searches for his purpose. Seeking answers, he turns to Fairy for guidance. She is only his companion because she met Wei Jun, whom she deeply respects. She watched him run every day, not out of duty, but because he genuinely loved it. To Wei Jun, immortality is not about some grand, distant goal. It is just a tool. A tool to keep making choices and enjoying the moment. Fairy offers some advice. The path ahead is entirely up to Mong. She admits she disliked him at first. He seemed far too flippant and carefree, but he is slowly starting to grow. She hopes he wins his next match. Mong fires back with a lot of enthusiasm. He tells her to do the exact same, talk about two lost souls figuring things out. As Fairy rides off on her lotus, she cannot help but wonder about him. Maybe they are quite similar deep down, just two wanderers without a clear direction. Neither has found a path yet. Meanwhile, back at the Beast sect, things are changing. The place has transformed into a full-blown laboratory, with Mong acting as the mad scientist. He lacks the wild hair, but he definitely brought all the chaotic energy to his work. The dragon criticizes Mong for goofing off instead of focusing on his actual cultivation. But Mong claps back. This messing around is actually groundbreaking, highly scientific research. He unveils an automated writer, designed to mass-produce low-level talismans. It operates incredibly fast, functioning like a modern factory on absolute overdrive. Normal cultivators barely sketch 5 or 6 daily, and half of those end up ruined. But this automated machine pumps out 40 talismans a day with 0 breaks. Genuinely curious, the dragon asks if the tech can handle intermediate levels too. Moan drops a quick reality check. Those require a massive amount of divine soul power. Combined with spiritual energy, that tech is still stuck in the developmental phase. Being practical, the dragon suggests they mass-produce these items for the common people. But Mo acts mysterious, hinting at far bigger plans that leave the beast stunned. The dragon is completely shocked. Next up is the grand reveal of his drone squad. Moan gives a demo, showing how drones and talismans make a pretty killer combo. He even recruited their spiritual dog to help with some live-fire weapon testing. The poor pup is just chilling, waiting for the drone to drop some heat. One drone hovers directly overhead, while another quietly sneaks up from behind. It fires explosive talisman projectiles right at the puppy. The heavy blast hits. The dog is left completely soot-faced, but Moan casually tosses it a bone. He rewards the dog as if it won a prize. Talk about rough testing methods. The dragon points out that powerful cultivators could easily crush these weak gadgets instantly. But Moan smiles, reminding him that this entire setup took only months to build. He has even calculated the dragon's exact strength using modern physics. A near-ascension great demon strikes with a force of 100 tons daily. They also move near the speed of sound, which is pretty terrifying. Yet humans back on Earth built weapons with that exact same level of firepower. Now Moan is applying modern network hacks to completely change cultivation forever. Right now Moang is stuck with low-level talismans, but his vision is next level, cracking the secrets of ascension like an absolute master. The dragon, genuinely impressed, admits Moang is a far cry from Weijun Moang, kicking back. With his classic smug vibe, reveals his innate child technique is basically a fancy way to lock down his true essence. If he finds another way to lock it, he can ditch the celibacy struggle without even needing to ascend. The dragon fires back with a witty jab, saying Moang and Weijun are cut from the same cloth. Just then, Jiping strolls in, hauling all the gear Moang ordered: minerals, tools, and the piece de resistance, a chunk of uranium ore. It catches everyone's eye like a rare Pokémon. Moang declares this is the key to smashing the Ascension ceiling, but Ogden jumps in, dropping knowledge about high-tech weapons, casually claiming all the blueprints are online. But Moang notes that while finding them is easy, actually understanding them is a next-level math struggle, leaving Ogden feeling personally roasted. Later, Asujin shows up at Ogden's place to return something, but he's nowhere to be found. He has completely ghosted her, but she is not stopping. She knows exactly where the key is hidden and invites herself right in. Inside, she spots some scattered papers and cannot resist sneaking a peek. These are not just random notes, but detailed info about the remaining spiritual energy sites on Earth. She is baffled. Why is Ogden collecting this info if they cannot even cultivate here, unless he can actually cultivate in this world? She has uncovered a massive secret, unaware that he is watching her closely from outside the window like some stealthy ninja. Meanwhile, back in the cultivation world, a massive crowd gathers at the Mount Zine sect. Among them are the old man and his disciple, both deeply impressed by the grand scale. The curious kid asks why so many people have gathered. The old man explains that Mount Zine has produced a new genius, someone on the level of Wei Jun. Some are here to compete for a chance to enter the immortal spring, while others have come solely to crush the new genius. If they can shatter his Dao heart, they will eliminate a future rival on their cultivation path. The kid naively thinks everyone can cultivate peacefully, but the old man swiftly shuts down that idea, as cultivation resources are limited and everyone wants to be the best of their generation. they finally reach the registration desk. The kid asks about the drone nearby, and the disciple happily explains that this drone automatically records and organizes all their data. The old man hands over his token, and the disciple tells both of them to input their basic info into the drone. The old man faces the machine and introduces himself as Fukeng, while the kid is named Qingfeng. After registration, the drone guides them to a flying vehicle that will take them to their accommodations for just 2 low-grade spirit stones. Qingfeng is excited to try it, and the old man pays the price. As they take off, the old man is genuinely impressed that it actually flies. The vehicle lands in front of the inn, where their rooms are digitally arranged. Qingfeng opens the door and is instantly amazed, but also confused. The bed is weird, and there is a strange closet filled with bottled water. It costs 1 low-grade spirit stone per bottle, but they get a private room. A personal assistant explains everything smoothly. Even the old master is deeply impressed. The room is packed with clever new inventions, but of course, there is a catch. Everything costs spirit stones, turning their stay into a painful wallet drain. At the accounting department, the head of the merchant sect is thrilled. He thinks Moon should run the entire sect after making an absolute fortune in just a few days, but Moon only laughs, bragging that this is just the beginning. Zipping begs him to finally publish his novel with these massive profits, but Moon tells him to be patient. They might just buy out the entire publishing house instead. 3 days remain before the official Mount Shaman Grand competition, and the atmosphere at the Beast Pen has completely shifted. Moon has built a high-tech workspace with a massive display and robotic arms assisting his work. He even has a dedicated team gathering rare minerals and metal ores, turning the entire area into a buzzing hub of activity. When Moon thanks his supplier and asks about their progress, the man happily explains that the young disciples are absolutely obsessed with the new materials. Things take a wild turn when the gorgeous artifact sect master reveals she is an old friend of Wei Jun. Moon feels a bit uneasy hearing about her connection to Wei Jun, but he puts his pride aside to request her help anyway. She initially thinks he is asking for something completely out of line, especially since Moon practices celibacy. However, he quickly clarifies that he only needs to borrow some skilled disciples from her sect, showing his complex designs to the artifact creators. Moon easily blows them away. They live for research. After all, the female sect master remarks that both Moon and Wei Jun are special in their own ways, but Moon prefers not to discuss Wei Jun further. He hands over blueprints and materials for the network and base stations, assigning the artifact sect to set up infrastructure in key spots. With that, the Mount Siling renovation begins. The artifact sect uses their incredible engineering to establish a basic signal and local network throughout the mountain. Moon then hands the beautiful sect leader a smartphone, explaining that every competing disciple can use one during their stay. These devices come pre-installed with several apps, including a chat app for sharing daily updates, minigames, and television shows. However, premium features require membership fees to unlock. There is even an online shopping platform for trading rare artifacts and materials, but not everyone is sold on this trick. A rival disciple suspects Moon is up to something. He thinks the devices are for secretly gaining influence, posting a harsh comment online. Meanwhile, Moon keeps working as the helpful fairy reports that phones have already been handed out to nearly all disciples, though she admits she does not grasp the real master plan behind it. Moon explains that these phones will reveal every user's deepest preferences, daily habits, and secrets, like flirting with a girl or shopping online for secret beauty supplements. This massive collection of information is what he calls big data. He hands the gathered database to the fairy to help run the Mount Siling sect more efficiently. Then comes the shocker. Moon has direct access to everyone's private data. He explains that permissions can be Easily adjusted, but Ba and Zipping are not buying it. They immediately confront Moong, demanding that he completely disable the spyware features on their devices to avoid. Moong agrees there is trouble, yet something still puzzles him. Why hide phone data when there is nothing to fear? Unlike Hugh, he shamelessly shares questionable pictures with everyone. Meanwhile, the old man slips out at night to meet a shady duo. They talk about otherworldly tech and double-check a mysterious device. They inspect it closely, scanning for any spiritual glitches. Then the old man drops a bomb. The outsider is Moong. He casually asks if they want to use this link to ascend. Meanwhile, Moong plays high-level chess, tracking everyone's movements. He works with Xiang, Bai Zai, and a highly impressed dragon. The dragon admires how Moong harvests data like an expert hacker. They discover 3 people disguised as wandering cultivators summoned Moong. Their goal, infiltrating Mount Shanling as the secret Chaowen Dao squad. This ancient group has been around longer than you would believe. Fem was likely the leader of the Heavenly Dragon sect 5,000 years ago. Dua probably led the Moonshadow sect before it vanished 6,000 years ago. And Hei Chong ruled the Pen sect 4,000 years in the past. These guys are living legends. Even history textbooks would be shocked. In cultivation, breakthroughs boost a person's lifespan by a massive amount. But even the highest ascension only grants about 3,000 years. These 3 are somehow cheating the system to live past that limit. Moon points out that without their secret intelligence gathering, these ancient beasts would have stayed hidden forever. The dragon admits they cannot beat those old-timers in a direct fight. But Moon has a clever plan to strike where they least expect it. It turns out these old masters actually have a group chat on their phones. Fu Cheng thinks he is texting his allies, but Bai Zai and Japing are trolling him. They are mocking him from the shadows. The curious dragon asks about the next step. Moon lays out the strategy. They must stay quiet and avoid raising alarms. They must gather evidence first since they are currently operating completely blind. Back with his squad, Moon announces that he found a way back home. This triggers a wave of excited congratulations from almost everyone. But Awan seems quietly disappointed. Aliang tries to hype up the situation. She cannot shake the awkward mood, even though Awan quickly fakes some cheer. Ayang insists that Awan should not keep secrets from his friends. But Awan worries about what happens when Moon returns to Earth. If he brings back powerful cultivators, Earth will be changed forever. The conversation goes back to normal, with Ayang playfully teasing him. Suddenly, Awan grabs her. It is time to inspect the ruins. He launches into action, scanning the entire area like a pro. He quickly realizes the ancient ruins are hidden deep underground. Since spiritual energy on Earth is fading, Awan remains incredibly powerful. He easily claims the title of the strongest cultivator around here. As they enter the ruins, Awan wonders if he should just relax. Should he wait for Moon to return or take control of his own destiny? Hans, the old man, watches the kids sleep, and after thousands of years of slacking off like a true ancient, he finally decides to make a move. Standing before a sacred tree, he pulls out his phone, declaring it is time for a face-to-face meeting, but here is the wild twist. Instead of texting, he uses a personal spell to blast the message. Across the way, the dragon senses a massive energy wave heading their way, throwing Mo into complete panic, because honestly, nobody wants to pick a fight with Ascension-level old-timers who probably carry centuries of bad breath and ancient grudges, but the dragon stays cool, ordering everyone to escape to the Illusion Zone, a place still packed with traps built specifically to mess with top-tier powerhouses. Talk about a legendary escape plan, but just as they leave the Beast Sect, their path is blocked by none other than the old man himself. Fuqueng offers a warm, friendly greeting, but the dragon is not buying it. He draws his weapon, telling everyone to run for their lives. Immediately, the fairy steps in to shield Mo, while Juping covers Bicey, forming a squad that looks like an ultimate fantasy lineup, packed with magic. But surprisingly, the old man tells them he is not here to fight. To prove it, he literally reaches into his soul and shatters his own core, completely destroying his cultivation on the spot. Talk about an extreme commitment to peace. He only wants the group to hear him out. He even thanks Mang for opening his eyes to a brand new world and giving him the courage to take this extreme step. The gang takes the old man inside, feeling curious and slightly suspicious about why he would destroy his core like it is a cheap trick. The old man confesses that he is the one who originally dragged Moong into this world, realizing their cultivation levels were never going to be enough to get them back to the other world. Meanwhile, in the mortal world, As and Ayang are exploring the ruins. Ashan is flexing confidence like a final boss, thinking Alyang has nothing to fear since he is the strongest person on Earth right now, but Ailing quickly sets him straight. She is not afraid of the pyramid, it is just the creepy vibe getting to her. She teases Aksun for being as incredibly stiff as always, just like back in their college days. Some things never change. Soon, Ixen summons a bright fireball in his hand, lighting up the entire chamber like a massive spotlight at a concert. As they look around, Ailing spots some ancient Chinese writing. On is completely stunned when he realizes it is a letter from 5,000 years ago written by Mo Wang himself, addressed directly to him. The message is simple: do not hide your cultivation. And honestly, why not send me a quick WeChat message sometime?